What's up, guys? It's your boy Sheeb the Wise. Welcome back to Vader's Lair. I hope you're having a fantastic start to the week. Happy Monday, everybody. Good to see you all in the chat. Shout out Smalls, OG, Don Clouderman, everybody that's hanging with us. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's get this thing rolling because we got a lot of fun Star Wars news to talk about. Kicking it off with Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Let's get it going because there's some big news for it. Let's do it. Welcome in, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Make sure to smash that subscribe button and the like if you would. It really helps us out. But let's get into the topic at hand because there's some really cool news to talk about today. We have a release date for Star Wars Jedi. Let me try that again. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and it's coming out March 16th, we believe. But basically, we're gonna find out this Thursday, December 8th, at the Game Awards, as obviously Jedi Survivor. Pretty I don't know, man. I'm excited for it. A lot of people are looking forward to it. It's pretty hype. That's what I'll say. It's pretty hype. A lot of people looking forward to this game. A lot of people really enjoyed the first game, Jedi Fallen Order, and now having the second game come out, we're likely to see a lot at the Game Awards. We could see gameplay footage, a final trailer. I'm not sure how much, potentially. I think we could get a lot, though. I know initially Jedi Fallen Order, we got so much because it was at Star Wars Celebration. We got game footage, a whole bunch of different stuff, like minor things. I don't know how much, actually, but I know as it came out and got closer and closer to the game releasing, there was a whole lot. And with March 16th being around the corner, it's super exciting to think about how much we could be getting in just a couple of days here on December 8th. And I do believe that will be a live stream. And let me turn down the music a little bit. That will be a live stream. So if you guys do want to watch the live event going on, showing this happening, just realize there's a hoodie behind me. Then you guys can watch that online as well, and it's gonna be a good time, man. I'm super excited for that game. Good to see everybody in the chat. Tim the Goat, welcome in, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Anakin Skywalker, good to see you. Good to see you're getting festive. Can't wait for Christmas time, man. Happy holidays to everybody in the chat. And hey, OG, I hope you're doing well and having a great countdown to Christmas too. Much love to you, my friend. Stanley, it's good to see you in the chat. And then Anthony, YouTube fan, says, Vader's Lair, hello my master. Like the haircut. Good to see you. Jedi Survivor looking better and better. Cal has to survive. Currently enjoying THR novel. Ooh, okay. Alright. So, speaking of Mando, since Anthony, YouTube fan, brings it up in the chat, that's the other little bit of news that kind of coincides with this, and we'll get into both of these a little bit here. But there's actually a Mandalorian Season 3 release date as well, and there's likely to be some more trailers and different things for that coming out here in the later half of December. I think the last rumor I heard was that we're going to get a final trailer for The Mandalorian, other than probably TV spots and different things, right? But probably a final trailer on Christmas Day is what I'm thinking, and that would make sense. It would be pretty cool. Tim says Pedro is going to be at the Game Awards. He's going to be at the Game Awards too for The Last of Us. Dude, that's sick. That's going to be fun. That's going to be interesting. So let's talk about this a little bit. Let's talk about all the stuff with Jedi Survivor. So here is the official announcement. Let me bring it up so you guys can take a look. But basically on Twitter it was announced everywhere. I was getting different messages on it, on different alerts. I get all the alerts in Star Wars stuff and sports things and different things. So check this out. They basically posted up a Jedi Survivor is coming. The journey continues from EA Star Wars. Experience the action-packed gameplay of Star Wars Jedi Survivor at the Game Awards, streaming live December 8th. And then they give you a little link to it. We could check that out in a sec if you guys are interested. But here's the official little poster that they posted with it. And that looks pretty dope. Apologies for the lighting. I don't know what's happening with my light today. Alright, let's check this out in the next little part here, because there was some cool things that kind of leaked out for pre-release, and I'll show it to you guys here. Boom. Let me see how that looks on there. Some of it you can't really see too well, but basically there's going to be a skin or a couple of skins that have BD1 as a astromech kind of cosmetic look that's going to go along with this Han Solo inspired outfit for Cal, as well as Han Solo's D1144 blaster set, and then a Rebel hero cosmetic that is, you know, Luke Skywalker. And then you can also have what looks to be the Luke Skywalker or Anakin Skywalker or Rey Skywalker or whatever you want to call it lightsaber hilt as well. And then the cool one that I think my head is probably blocking here a little bit, this one is actually the cosmetic skin for Obi-Wan, and it's called the Hermit cosmetic. And then you get the Hermit saber as well as a combustion blaster set that you probably see in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So kind of cool that they have these little pre-releases that they're gonna put out there. And let's get into the Mandalorian news a bit. Let's head back into the lair, but let me know what you guys think of that and how excited you are for December 8th, this Thursday, to be getting all of this info on Jedi Survivor. I'm hyped for it. I'm hyped for it, man. It's gonna be exciting to get that. I can't wait for it. I'm gonna be probably at work, but I'm probably gonna be, you know, have the earphones plugged in, gonna be listening along on the Game Awards and trying to figure out what's going on with it, because I'm sure it'll probably be at an hour where I'm working still. Hey, talented Mr. Griffin, it's good to see you in the chat. Anakin Skywalker says Medal of Honor Allied Assault Definitive Edition Remastered. Say what? What the heck? Will you go easy on him? Cal Kestis versus Darth Vader rematch? Yikes. I don't think Cal stands a chance in a rematch, but it might happen. I will say, so another piece of news that I wasn't initially going to get into today, but that I did see recently, was the Sam Maggs novel that's going to be taking place between Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order. So between Fallen Order and Survivor, really. And there was basically a picture of it released. Let me see if I can go back and find that. But an image of what the cover is going to look like. And one of the characters that was on that cover was actually the fifth brother that we see in both Star Wars Rebels and then in Obi-Wan Kenobi as well. So here's this, if I can pull it up. And show you guys real quick, because this is kind of interesting for you guys to bring this up. I do think the fifth brother could end up showing up in the game, maybe. You know, there is probably still some Inquisitors out there. I don't think we're quite at the Rebels timeline yet, but I'm interested to find out what they do with that, or who we're going to be fighting in terms of dark side characters as well. Let me see, where is it? Where is it? It has to be somewhere. Is it this? No. I can't even find it. It's gone. It just disappeared. But anyway, I don't know why I can't find it at the moment. I'm sure I will soon. But I'm excited for it. It's cool. The book is going to take place again with the same kind of characters. It's going to be called Jedi Battle Scars, and it will be Sam Maggs writing it. It's going to follow Cal Kestis, and it'll take place between Jedi Fallen Order and then Jedi Survivor. And again, titled Star Wars Jedi Battle Scars. And the background is the fifth brother. It's pretty cool. Queso says, I don't think fifth brother will be in Jedi Survivor or Vader because it takes place right in Kenobi. Maybe. That's interesting. I didn't know it takes place right in Kenobi, but that's cool. Stanley says Cal meets Yoda like clone Star Color, maybe. Interesting. Interesting. That would be cool to have Cal meet Yoda again, because he likely knew him at the Jedi Temple. Tim says, so does the game take place 5 years after Fallen Order? I believe that was what we had last heard. Let me see if I can find any more of the kind of main information on it. But yeah, I do believe the game takes place with a small time jump between Jedi Fallen Order and then Jedi Survivor. The name differences are gonna mess with me. Tim says, no, it does. It's not a question. Oh, okay, yeah. It does take place 5 years after Fallen Order, which should... I'm trying to remember when the Fallen Order game took place now, because it did take place, I think... Obviously, Cal grew up from the time we see him lose his master during Order 66. I think it's about 7 years after, so like 12, maybe. I don't even know if it's 7 years after. Maybe it's 5 and then 5 more. So it would be about the time and frame of Kenobi. You guys are right. Imagine Starkiller and Jedi Survivor. Dude, Queso, dude, I've been saying I would love it. I would love it. I've been predicting for a long time that we could see Starkiller come into canon. The fact that we saw the Starkiller armor kind of in Andor recently, that it's just another hint. I would love if the whole Mount Tantus thing and whatever that clone dude in the vat of the first Jedi Survivor trailer we got, I would love if something like that leads to eventually Starkiller being brought in and through a video game that's like somewhat heavily inspired by what's going on with the Sam Witwer Starkiller games, you know, the Force Unleashed games. Like, it would be just perfection. It would be awesome. Any news on Bad Batch official trailer coming out, says Queso. The latest that I saw was the showrunner Jennifer Corbett, who like kind of did a lot of it with Dave Filoni, or Dave kind of handed it off to her and the whole animated crew, right? So Jen Corbett, who's been doing all this stuff with season 1 and now with season 2, she was talking about on Twitter that good things come to those who wait, and that it's coming soon. Now, again, Bad Batch is coming out January 8th, so it's around the corner. That one's the next project that's up, right? So I definitely think it could be coming out pretty soon here. Daniel Fisher, I hope you're doing all right, buddy. Says, finally beginning to recover from this nasty cold my son brought home on Thanksgiving. Dude, that's rough. I hope you feel better. Much love to you and the fam. And I hope the rest of the holidays that you guys can stay safe and stay away from the colds and sicknesses. You know what I mean? It's a rough time out here for colds. Queso says, Jedi Survivor in the trailer. I wonder who the Sith is Cal is fighting. Me too. The one dude who lights up the red lightsaber. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it is one of the Inquisitors or something. Who knows? Maybe it's the first Inquisitor, Sam Witwer. Caleb Richardson says, I hope we get a Mando DLC skin for Jedi Survivor. Dude, that would be dope. Given the game and season 3 of The Mandalorian both come out in March, I mean, just imagine. So that's what we're going to be getting into here, because The Mandalorian season 3 is supposed to be coming out March 1st. The 1st of March. So initially we had heard it was going to be back half of February. February is a short month. The 1st of March is close enough to the back half of February. So it's just a few weeks off of what we thought. But to your point, I think a Mandalorian skin in the Jedi Survivor game would make almost too much sense. The fact both are coming out in March, also another little interesting tidbit. Obviously, they're not going to quite align. But who's to say Jedi Survivor doesn't do a little bit of time skip, or we maybe don't see an older Cal Kestis in the Mandalorian? It's really doubtful. I definitely doubt it, but I do think it's a very interesting parallel between the two, where Cal Kestis has his little buddy with BD1, and then the Mandalorian also has his little buddy with Grogu. And I don't know, it would make sense to do a skin where BD1 is Grogu and then Cal Kestis is Mando. You get the dark saber. It would sell like hotcakes. Come on, who wouldn't want to do that? Tim says, if Bad Batch releases 2 episodes a week, it ends exactly the week before Mandalorian season 3. Interesting. So let me ask a question to the chat. Do you guys think it's possible that they could do a 2 episode per week release with the Bad Batch, seeing as they are 30-minute episodes, or really 23-ish minutes episodes? That's what I would say the average for like an animated episode is for Star Wars, about 23 minutes ish. So let's say 23 minutes, 2 episodes per week, so like 40, almost 50 minutes of content like we get with Andor and a lot of the other live action stuff. That would make a lot of sense for them to do it like that. And it would be kind of closer to the 8-week release schedule that they do with The Mandalorian and a lot of these other shows. Which, again, The Mandalorian Season 3 is going to be an 8-episode season like it has been for the first 2 seasons. So, interesting thought there. What do you guys think? Tim says they already confirmed a 2-episode premiere. I thought they confirmed it was going to be like a long, like a movie-length episode or something like it was for Season 1. I thought that's what I had seen. Maybe my information was wrong there. I mean, that would be the kind of the same thing. Having 2 episodes release is kind of like one big long one in a sort of weird way. Especially if the 2 episodes are like, you know, congruent, like with Andor's first 3, and yeah, you know what I mean. Mike the Stanchill Porter, it's good to see you in the chat, my friend. I hope you're doing well and happy holidays to you. Aaron Tomato says, I could see them doing that for the premiere, but not the whole season. You might be right. You might be right. That is, okay, Tim says it's confirmed. Believe me, man. I believe you. I never said I didn't. I said my information might be wrong. Hey, college football, man, indeed. It's on the official Star Wars website. Alright, bet. Then I gotta go to the Star Wars website. I gotta get my information. Don't get upset with me, Tim. I'm sorry. I know. It's okay. Nah, but for real though, it's super exciting. March 1st is the release date for Mandalorian Season 3. And let me pull up this image here of the release date, or not the release dates, but the episode writers. That's what I'm trying to say. Because we know a lot of the same directors are going to be coming back from Season 1 and Season 2 here for Season 3. I'm kind of curious if they'll bring back Deborah Chow. I think it was already announced, or we already have discussed who the directors are going to be. It might have been released quite a while ago. It probably isn't Deborah Chow. But we do know that Rick Famuyiwa is going to be working on this season again. Bryce Dallas Howard, of course. So Dave Filoni likely directing some episodes too. It'll be exciting. It'll be exciting. So let me pull this up. Where did it go? Nope, that's the Jedi Fallen Order thing. Okay, here we go. Where are we? Window capture. Work this time, don't you? My bad on the wait. Desktop picture. What are you doing, computer? Come on, do it. Or else the Empire needs your service. What? Why is nothing working now? Of course. When you need things to work, they don't. So, I guess I don't really need to pull up the picture, but I can read it off to you guys, because we do have a list of the episodes and who they're written by. We don't have the titles, of course, but we do know that The Mandalorian does go by chapters. So here we go with episode 1 of season 3. It's going to be written by Jon Favreau, as well as episode 2. However, episode 3 is going to be written by Noah Kluwer. I believe I said that correct. Noah Kluwer and Jon Favreau. Noah Kluwer, if you're not familiar, also wrote for, and kind of in the background, I guess you could say, for the Book of Boba Fett. So Noah Kluwer is going to be writing alongside Jon Favreau for episode 3 of season 3 of The Mandalorian. Maybe that episode we get the, Boba Fett back. Just putting it out there. That would be kind of cool. Episode 4, however, is going to be co-wrote by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. So maybe episode 4 could be an Ahsoka episode? I don't know. Just putting it out there. Dave Filoni always likes to bring in characters. So episode 4 is going to be co-wrote by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. And then episodes 5 and 6 are going to be written by Favreau again, with episode 7 being another for Favroni. Another Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni written episode for episode 7. And then episode 8 is going to be written by Jon Favreau, finishing off the season. So it makes me wonder if episodes 4 and 7 could be particularly special, with Dave Filoni potentially maybe directing those 2 episodes too, as he is going to be co-writing them. And who else he could potentially bring in? Maybe episode 4 he brings in Ahsoka, and then maybe episode 7 could be a big reveal again. Just putting it out there. I know that'd be kind of the pre-season finale, or the second to last episode of the season, but episode 7, I think that could be a big episode. Heck, even Pedro Pascal recently was teasing that there's going to be another big reveal, I guess you could say, here at the end of Mandalorian season 3. So episode 7 would be a great fit for it. Having Dave Filoni be the writer alongside John, it makes sense. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat, though. Tim says Bad Batch stuff was announced at D23. Indeed. Hey, much love, Tim. Thank you for confirming for me, my brother. That's why you the GOAT. That's why you the GOAT. Queso says Bad Batch Season 2. Can't wait to see Commander Cody. Imagine we see what he did to Obi-Wan on Utapau animated. Dude, that would be so cool. And then he says then he remembers what he did. Imagine flashbacks. And he's just like, can't really sleep with himself. An arc with Cody is definitely needed. We need to see what's going on with that dude in the Bad Batch. You know what I mean? I'm 100% with you, Queso. Caleb says, I'm still of the mind that the final 4 episodes of the Clone Wars should have been a theatrical movie. That would have been so poetic, seeing as though, Clone Wars kind of starts with a movie. Having it end with that movie, it would be perfect. I will say that I did watch it in a theater with a bunch of Star Wars fans and Dave Filoni, and it was so cool. It definitely works great as a movie, and in a theater, it's a great experience too, especially amongst many Star Wars fans. You know what I mean? It's such an experience. Here we go. Tim, thank you for being the GOAT, my friend. What would I do without Tim? When was this expo? This was a while ago, right? September? That's right. Alright, hold up. I'm gonna bring this up in a second. But what did I do? Okay. Almost deleted the whole stream. Rail Avros, welcome into the stream. Star Wars Obsession says F Cody. What? My dude. My heart. No, I feel you. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know about that, Cody, but I think he's gonna get a redemption arc here in the Bad Batch. I love me some Commander Cody, man. I can't wait to see the dynamic between him and Rex post the beginning of the Empire. Really, I know it's gonna be a little bit of a time jump for Bad Batch season 2 as well, but that's gonna be dope to see. Don says I think 7 will be Ahsoka with her asking Din for help, or vice versa. Just putting it out there. I don't think it's gonna be, but how cool would it be for Dave to bring in Ezra Bridger in episode 7 of The Mandalorian? You know what I mean? That'd be kind of cool. It probably won't happen till Ahsoka. Let's be real. And Amon Esfandi again has been casted as Ezra, as far as we know, and I can't wait to see him portray him. He's gonna do a great job. Rail Avaros in the chat says Andor makes me see all of Star Wars differently. It made me just see how cartoonish it all is. Heck, I can't watch the Emperor and Jedi now without laughing my butt off, but I love it all now. Take it up with the Emperor, I'm dead. Star Wars Obsession says, I hope Rex kills Cody. What the heck are you talking about, man? Caleb Richardson says, I feel like theaters would make bank blocking out a show or two a day for TV shows. Like, imagine being able to watch your favorite TV shows each week on the big screen. That would be wild. That would be cool. I mean, you're probably right. For certain shows, you could probably make bank at theaters, and that's why they've tested it out with things like Obi-Wan recently and different things. I don't know though. Theaters are like sort of a dying breed, but at the same time, not really. I mean, movies will always be thriving. TV shows are really popping with the streaming services these days, in my opinion. But I know cable television's been around a long time. There's been telenovelas and soap operas and different things that have lasted eternity. So. Rail Life Ross says, I kind of see the OT Star Wars stuff the way George Lucas intended it. Silly 1930s Flash Gordon family fun of it all. That is kind of what it is at the heart of it. There's a lot of funny moments in episode 4, A New Hope, which to a lot of people isn't even episode 4, you know what I mean? So, watching it back on TNT the other day, there's just a moment where like Han and Luke are just like baffled by, you know, something Leia says, and it's really a testament to how strong of a character and the female lead Carrie Fisher put into the Leia role and everything. But it's comical the way she like acts to Han and to Luke. Like the two of them on the Death Star are just like, what the heck, who is this? You know what I mean? And it's just such a trope that we kind of see in different Star Wars mediums, whether it's Rebels when a funny character pops up and, you know, all the other characters, or, you know, an interesting character pops up and they're just like, they have some funny interactions, or episodes where they're chasing Melu runs, you know what I mean? It's just, it's fun. It is all fun. I'm afraid the Delector Shield will be quite operational when your friends arrive. Great line there, Stanley's. Hey, Alan Copeland, good to see you in the chat. Tim says studios need like their own premium theaters. Maybe. That'd be cool for them to just do that. Rail Avross says, I'm an older fan, been at this since 77, went through all the stages of love and hate with the new stuff, and some of the old things. Now as I get more wrinkles, I just eat it all up. Welcome to the club, man. I'm lucky enough to not have the wrinkles yet, but I'm at the same place you are. I mean, at certain points I've had spots where I'm like, I don't really like this, or, you know, different things. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, it's Star Wars, it's fun. I enjoy all of it. I eat it all up. Hey. Alan Copeland. Rail Avross says, in Jedi, there is a scene where an Ewok kills a trooper with a small stone. It's just hilarious, and I love it. Dude, exactly. I love the Ewoks. They're funny. It's, you know, Jar Jar. You know, every era has their own little comedic thing. Every Star Wars show, like, it's really in it. It's the lightheartedness of it all. You know, Star Wars is about hope. It's great. It's great. Heck, even with Mandalorian and Jedi Survivor that we're talking about today, Grogu, you know, and BD1, they're just epitomes of hope and, you know, fun little companions. Where was I in the chat? Caleb Richardson says, I wonder what episodes 4, 5, and 6 would look like if they remade it with Tony Gilroy at the helm. On one hand, it probably wouldn't be top the original movies. On the other, it might. Interesting, man. I haven't even, you know, it's hard to compare things with how George ended up putting them together, and I don't know if anyone could have done the job that all those people did back in the day, the way that it all worked out perfectly in a way. You know what I mean? That's why we're all talking about Star Wars here today. Tony Gilroy is a great director, and he has a certain kind of, you know, style to his directing, and I love it. He's great. I don't know if it would have fit with the original Star Wars and what it was. You know what I mean? It definitely still could have been a great trilogy. I don't know if it would have been the same, though. It has a little bit more grit to it when he directs. I mean, whether you're talking about Bourne, Andor, heck, definitely some grittiness to Rogue One. Everybody dies. I don't know. It would have been interesting. I would have loved it, though. I think Tony Gilroy would have definitely had his own little twist. And he's not as big into the like lore of Star Wars, really. Like, there's some stuff that different people put in the backgrounds, or probably told him, hey, maybe insert this here. But he definitely is knowledged up on a lot of it, and I think Tony Gilroy definitely likes doing stuff in the Star Wars universe. I hope he does more someday. Queso says, I wish we would have had Palpatine. I wish we would have saw Palpatine in Andor, maybe season 2. I wish we would have saw Palpatine too. Good. Yes. I think it's possible in season 2. I kind of didn't really expect it. Tony Gilroy was saying how it wasn't going to be too big of cameos and different things. I hope we see characters like Director Krennic, maybe even Grand Moff Tarkin. Admiral Thrawn would be really cool. The Emperor, of course. Always good to see Palpatine. I don't know, though. Obviously, we're probably going to be following the Death Star in season 2, or at least it'll be kind of a background thing that the ISB is dealing with, that is kind of the final credits scene that they show us in Andor. So I think that's kind of where it's going for season 2. So maybe Palpatine is going to have some people talking to him about it, or, Krennic is going to have to bring him the latest details on how the building process is going, or the Emperor is going to be pissed about his his prisoner employees getting out. No, destroy them all. Rail Lavros says, I started watching Mando again. It's great, dude. It is such a good watch. I love how they did Mando. They, you never have needed to see a minute of Star Wars to dive into Mando. It's great. It's freaking great, man. I love that show. I'm so excited for season 3, man. March 1st. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I do think again that we're probably gonna get a final trailer, most likely Christmas time around then, and I can't wait, dude. I can't wait. Bad Batch is outstanding fun for the entire family. It's perfect. It really is, dude. Rail, I've been watching through the Bad Batch. We're doing a rewatch on the channel right now, and it has been such a good rewatch. I started the channel actually alongside the Bad Batch's release, and it's so fun to kick back and watch that, especially with you guys. Get your reactions in the chat. I feel like it's slept on, of course, because all of Star Wars animation is slept on, but dude, it's so good. Those of us that tune in and watch the Bad Batch, we eat it up. It's good. It's so good. Tim says Mando is probably my favorite show ever. I don't even blame you, man. It's probably one of the best shows ever. It is. So far. I mean, people are gonna criticize it and I don't know, man. It's just one of the best Star Wars shows that's definitely been made. It's so good. I love Rebels. That's probably one of my favorite shows ever. But just found your channel this evening. I'm all in. I love your entire vibe. Hey, much love, Rail. Love the name, by the way. Rail Avaros. Great Jedi name. That's dope. I know that's a Jedi. There were a lot of rumors and people talking about, not rumors, but speculation, I guess you could say, that Rail Avaros was actually Luthen Rael. I don't think so, though. Tim says they took so much time to make season 3. It's just going to be great. Dude, I think so too. A lot of the characters being in it, Dave and John coming back to work on it. I do think they took a lot. The whole thread with Bo-Katan. I cannot wait to see where season 3 goes. And I do know a little bit because there's a lot of stuff that's leaks out there, especially from the Mandalorian. And I don't think everybody knows the full thing. And I really hope whatever their big surprise is for the Mandalorian season 3, that they're able to keep it under wraps. Because I can't wait to find out whatever it is and watch alongside with you guys. You know what I mean? The big reveals are always so fun. Love the Luthen theories. Dude, they're great. The Luthen theories are great. I love Luthen Rael. I love him. He's probably just a new character, and he's such an interesting character too. He's a great addition. Definitely a healthy, supportive place. We got lots of Star Wars good vibes. You know what it is. You know what it is, guys. Caleb Richardson says, I think episode 6, if directed by Gilroy, will would have ended with Lucas' alternate ending, having Luke turn to the dark side and putting on Vader's helmet. Yeah, dude. He's saying, now I am Vader, destroyer of worlds. Dude, that would have been so sick, though, to be honest. Dude, Star Wars is all about hope and everything, but come on, how cool would it have been for Luke to just... I am Vader, destroyer of worlds. Tim says they kept Luke a secret. They can keep anything a secret if they really want to. I agree. And I think whatever the big secret is, it's been kept a secret so far. So keep doing what you're doing, Lucasfilm. Keep doing it. Do it. That was a weak do it. Do it. Some days are better than others. Talented Mr. Griffin says, I'm so ready for Thrawn. The Republic will have their hands full. Let's talk about that. Since we're kind of going all over the place today, but I'm all for it right now. So, I don't know if Thrawn's really going to be too big of a threat if he comes into the Mandalorian and Ahsoka and all that. So, let me, first of all, in the chat, let me know what you guys think Thrawn will appear in first. Will he appear in the Mandalorian season 3, or will he appear in Ahsoka? Let me ask a poll too. What will Thrawn be in first? Will it be Mando 3? Or will it be Ahsoka? Boom. Put it into the chat. Put it into the poll. What do you guys think? Do you think we're going to see Thrawn first, or in Ahsoka, or in The Mandalorian Season 3? Personally, I kind of am starting to lean he's not going to show up till Ahsoka. And I do think Don had a point earlier in the chat saying that maybe Ahsoka will come in towards the end of Season 1 or Season 3 of The Mandalorian and be like, dude, I need your help. There's something going on. Pick him up, take him. Maybe they're going to go look for Ezra together. You know, I do have a theory that, you know, Sabine and Ahsoka might end up helping Mando with whatever might end up being, you know, going down at Mandalore. That's just my theory. Because I do think Mando is probably going back to Mandalore here in Season 3 of The Mandalorian. I think there could be some type of war with the Mandalorians. There could be stuff going on with the remnants of the Empire, with the whole, you know, cloning subplot that we got in The Mandalorian Season 2. Maybe that's going to continue on, and Ahsoka is going to need Mando's help, maybe with Thrawn, but I think it might have something to do with Ezra or different things. And I think, honestly, the first time we're going to see Thrawn is going to be in the hunt for Ezra and Ahsoka. Whether he'll be the first, you know, they're looking for Ezra and they end up finding Thrawn first, or Thrawn's maybe even looking for Ezra. Maybe Ezra's working alongside Thrawn. Because honestly, the way the books have set up Thrawn in canon, I don't think Thrawn's necessarily a bad guy. He's more of like an anti-hero, I guess you could say. Like, he's willing to do bad things to get what he thinks for the greater good. Like, that's even the title of one of the Thrawn novels, Greater Good. You know, he's all about the greater good. So he's willing to do whatever he thinks is necessary, and that's why he even joins the Empire in the first place, is actually for what he thinks is the greater good of the galaxy and for his people. The greater good of joining the Empire was the fact that there's a greater threat than the Empire out there, being the Grisk. The Empire was not necessarily a threat to his people. The Death Star was potentially a threat to his people, which why he didn't really mess with the Death Star. But the Grisk was this alien species that basically wanted to dominate the galaxy, or dominate the universe probably. And Thrawn was basically joined up with the Empire to help stop the Grisk. So obviously Thrawn being blasted off by space whales with Ezra, he wasn't expecting that. But being blasted off, I think that Thrawn and Ezra probably went to the unknown regions, which is where the Chiss space is, or the space that Thrawn's people live in. So I think potentially Ezra might be out there in Chiss space alongside Thrawn, trying to basically fight against the Grisk. That's my theory. Don, yes! Don says he is handling a big slab of the orthocros, which is the ancient fossil mollusk. Are you talking about in one of the Thrawn books? I'm confused. Tim says, what about Sabine though? I think they might introduce her in Mando, and Ahsoka comes and picks her up. So my theory is that something's going to happen with Mandalore and the people on Mandalore, and obviously Sabine is connected to Bo-Katan, and obviously connected to Ahsoka. And while Ahsoka comes to pick up Sabine at the end of Star Wars Rebels, and I think that's going to be in Ahsoka that we see that, I think we could get sort of a glimpse or something where Sabine has to help at some point with what's going on with Mandalore. I don't know if it totally adds up. I don't know exactly when the end credits scene of Rebels, or the final scene of Rebels, takes place. I just think that with Mandalore being heavily involved in The Mandalorian Season 3, even with Sabine kind of guarding Lothal during that time period between, you know, the end of Rebels and, of course, the final scene of Rebels, when we see Ahsoka coming to pick her up, I think it's possible maybe she left to go help with Mandalore at some point. And if something big enough takes her there with Din Djarin involved, maybe we'll see it in Mandalorian Season 3. Caleb Richardson says it makes sense, the cycle of nature of fascism and oppression. People are oppressed, so they rise up against the oppressor, and then they turn into the oppressor, or the people who oppress them. Yeah, that is definitely a bad cycle. 71% of you guys so far, with 14 votes on what will Thrawn be in first. 71% of you guys say Ahsoka. So you guys are thinking he'll be in Ahsoka first. That's kind of my thoughts as well. Where are we in the chat? Don says, I was talking about Luthen last time on his shop. So he said he was handling a big slab of, which is an ancient fossil mollusk. That's hilarious. I love all the little things in Luthen's shop, the little Easter eggs. They're amazing. Where are we? All he really cares about is the chiss, says talented Mr. Griffin. Yeah, he cares about protecting his people more than probably anything. Tim says, next year we're probably getting all of the answers and more questions. You're not wrong, my friend. With a lot of Dave Filoni and Star Wars projects in general, as many answers as we get, we're left there going, wait, what? More questions. Oh, and we love it. We love it. The Old Republic trilogy? Ooh, they should do that. They should do another Old Republic trilogy. Tim says, I feel like from what they've revealed, Ahsoka picks up exactly after the ending of Rebels, and we will see where it goes. Me too. I kind of think that we're going to see where they go to. I don't know, though. That's probably going to be exactly where they picks up from. I just think that maybe we could see Sabine a little bit earlier. I don't know. You're probably right. It's probably what it's going to be. I should chill. Darth Chaos, is good to see you in the chat. Much love. He says, I hope we get a tease in Mando, then full first appearance in Ahsoka. We shall see. I'm excited for next year's content. Well, we did already kind of get a tease in Mando Season 2 with Ahsoka, having her beat the Magistrate and then, be like, where is your master, Grand Admiral Thrawn? Or where's Thrawn? So, with that being teased in Season 2 of Ahsoka, or Season 2 of The Mandalorian, that's another reason I think it's possible we're going to see that in The Mandalorian Season 3. Maybe just a tease. Fine post-credit scene, they like doing those post-credit scene now, like Marvel. I feel like that started off as a Jon Favreau thing, doing the post-credit scene kind of thing, but I think they did in Hulk, so it's always been kind of a Marvel thing too. I don't know when post-credit scene kind of, first became a thing either. I should look into that. I love them. Rail Avross says, Andor has allowed older fans to really come back and feel like we have a new place in the Star Wars fandom. The show is what I dreamed of since '77. There's always this side of me that wanted it. Dude, that's awesome, man. It's definitely a great show. And I loved how different it feels, too, for the Star Wars universe. At the same time, it's so Star Wars. But it feels so different, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. Watch the leaked trailer. It says he can only save the Mandalore. Say what? All right. Well, I can't wait to see the full trailer then, not the leaked one. Although there is one full trailer out there, but I think there's gonna be a final one still. So Tim says we need live action space whales though. Damn it. Yes. Oh, we definitely need some space whales in live action. It's a must. Just have Ezra riding back in on him for his first introduction. He's like surfing one. He's like, yeah. Tim says Iron Man came out before the Hulks though, so you might be right. It might have been a John's idea too. I definitely think it maybe came from that. Mike Stanshall Porter says R.I.P. Christy Alley. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Christy Alley. Queso says, I can't wait to see a live action Ezra. Will we see a Kanan Force Ghost? I know it's slim, but we can hear his voice. Interesting question. So, Freddie Prinze Jr. actually kind of addressed Kanan coming back or seeing a live action Kanan at some point recently in an interview. And I'm paraphrasing here, but basically he said that he's basically done with the character. He's happy with where it was left off in Rebels, and he thought that was a great story. He loved playing Kanan and having his part in the Star Wars universe. But he kind of said that, that time is kind of gone, and he even thought that doing the voice for Kanan in the Bad Batch was like not exactly right. He thought that someone else maybe should have done it, or he did it for Dave Filoni is what he said. He's like, when Dave calls you gotta do it. So that's really why he even came back for Bad Batch and did a younger Kanan. So I don't really think that we're ever gonna eventually see a Force Ghost of Kanan. It would be really cool, but we've already kind of got that in a way. Maybe his voice in the World Between Worlds kind of scenario or different things. I don't think we'll actually get a live action Kanan though, unfortunately. Rest in peace, Christ. Rest in peace, Christy, for sure. Moment of silence. Tim says, yeah, we don't talk about Kanan's voice in Bad Batch. I'm dead, bro. Oh man, Rail Avros, my guy, thank you for the $6 or $6.99. Is that Canadian? I don't know. I don't even know what the money things are, but thank you for the $6.99 super chat. I appreciate you, my friend. I really do. That's too generous. Thank you, man. He says, I really hope Disney does decide to have 2 divisions to Star Wars, one for adults and one for kids. Anyhow, great job. Love the conversations. Dude, love you, my friend. Thank you for hanging out in the chat today. You've been an awesome addition to the community. Much love, Rail. Hey, I hope that they maybe do some more kind of divide like that. And there's the little banner there. Thank you for the donation, my friend. Appreciate you. I think you got a point there, though. Maybe something to give it a little bit more to the kid side. I know animation kind of panders to that, but a lot of the animated stuff is kind of deep. It's almost deeper than the live action stuff sometimes. Yeah, I feel like more kids stuff is definitely awesome for Star Wars, and they could do a whole bunch of animated shorts and different things. I think even in the news recently, the dude that directed Willow, if I'm not mistaken, said that Star Wars should do stuff like Werewolf by Night. If you guys saw that Marvel, I guess you could say mini movie short kind of thing. But that would be a great way to tell stories in Star Wars, and having kids stuff on the kids side. I know Young Jedi Adventures, I think, is supposed to be coming out towards the end of next year, probably after Ahsoka. So they do kind of think about the kids aspect of stuff, but I think Star Wars is always kind of meant for kids and adults in a way. So I don't know if they actually have to make 2 divisions, because they're kind of always thinking about both. Like, is this going to satisfy our child viewers, or is it going to satisfy our adult viewers too? Sometimes they go a little hard on the child stuff. Like, I feel like the beginning of Rebels, it was kind of like a lot of explanation, like really hard explanation, and kind of pandered to more child viewers. And then as Rebels picked up, it was like, no, this is a serious show. And Tim says, yeah, this Young Jedi Adventure show seems to be fairly for young kids. Of course, we do have, what's it called? The Skeleton Crew. That's going to be a whole bunch of like 10-year-old child actors from what I know, or younger actors. So maybe that'll pander to children as well. But I do think that's going to have some more darker kind of Stranger Things tones to it and vibes. So maybe they do need to separate the two a little bit, but I feel like you can still have children and adult stuff in Star Wars, and that's what Star Wars is all about. You know what I mean? It's for family. It's for everybody. Yeah, one-offs for sure. One-offs would be dope. Stuff like Werewolf by Night. If they did that kind of stuff for Star Wars, I think it would be cool. Like, even a Boba Fett short like that, I think would work awesome. You could do so many different characters. Heck, Tales of the Jedi is kind of like that in a way, you know what I mean? Having a little 10-30 minute show that 3 different little short stories in it, a whole bunch of stuff like that. I feel like Star Wars is already sort of starting to do stuff like that, whether it's, you know, doing the anime stuff with all the different Star Wars little shorts and different things. Heck, they even did the Zen Grogu thing, you know what I mean? So the more shorts, the better. Hopefully a little bit longer than the Zen Grogu, and I hope that they do more stuff with them in the future, and more stuff like that in the future, because it definitely has its place as Star Wars, and I love it. I love it, man. Jabba the Jedi? I'm dead. Tim says, I mean, it's going to be on Disney Junior. That's hilarious. That's funny, man. That would be... That's funny, dude. I did not know that about Young Jedi Adventures. I guess that is really geared towards younger kids. That's gonna be great. Rail Avros says, yeah, let's make the kids laugh some more. They'll need that. And I can recall way back in 77, all my friends and family finding sticks in the woods to use as lightsabers. Now we're in our 50s, dude. We definitely would do that as kids too. My brother and I used to like fold up papers in like eighths or something, where it would be like a little lightsaber kind of square thing, and we would draw lightsabers, fight with them. Heck yeah, man. I mean, sticks is definitely good too. You know what I mean? That's the way to do it. What ifs, dude? Don, I would love if they did Star Wars what ifs. That would be amazing. Amazing. What if Anakin never turned to the dark side? You know what I mean? Whew. That would be dope. Jedi Mike in the chat. What up, Jedi Mike? Man, Mike the Stand Show Porter a little earlier says, I love Mandalorian. Great for Star Wars now. The movie rumor of sequel era will be interesting. Hope it works. Hope it does too. Hope it does too. Whatever the next movie that ends up coming out, I really do hope that works out. I'm praying for it. Ray Lavros says Christmas paper rolls the best. The best and worst lightsabers ever. You're telling me, man. Those those things are great to swing around and fight with. until they bend, you know what I mean. Anakin Skywalker says also new characters of Star Wars classic video game. What? Did I miss something? That's dope. Tim says Don Clatterman was thinking about that when Sheev talked about evil Luke. Evil Luke would be dope. Where was Don? What ifs? Dude, what if of evil Luke? Ooh. Putting on the helmet. I am Darth Vader. They should do what ifs, man. What ifs definitely belong in Star Wars too. I feel like Star Wars is so afraid to go off of their canon because fans are always like, that's not canon. And it's like, dude, I'm a canon junkie. It's okay if we tell stories that are non-canon. You know what I mean? Like a what if of Luke putting on the Vader helmet, or Ahsoka, you know, being there for Anakin and helping him not turn to the dark side or something, having her be there alongside Anakin and Padme as they raise Luke and Leia. Like, what's so wrong with a what if like that? Like, come on. I love the Palps brother theory, says Don Clatterman. So for those of you guys that don't know, and I think it was in Star Wars Meg's Discord, basically she was talking about who is Luthen Rael, or like different theories about him, right? Because everybody has been, and she even was trying to make connections through Palpatine, and just based on like this thumbnail she created for one of her videos, I was like, oh my god, maybe Luthen Rael is Palpy's brother. It makes no sense. Like the brother dynamic, he probably is like, dude, he had all the power, he killed mom and dad, he killed the whole family, I got away. It's like the if you guys have ever seen Naruto, it's like Sasuke trying to chase after Itachi, which like you find out in that Itachi's actually a good dude, but spoilers. But in Star Wars, like Luthen Rael, what if he's the brother of Palpatine, and you know he's seen Palpatine kill his whole family, and he's just like, I'll stop at nothing to take down the Empire. I think that's a fun theory, that he could be Palpatine's brother. It works for me. It's my new headcanon. Tim says, I mean, if they really wanted to, they could do what ifs and Visions. I love Visions, man. The fact that Visions is the first kind of non-canon medium that we've done in live action or animation. More Visions. And yeah, if you want to do what ifs, please do them in Visions. We're here for it. We'll pay for it. We'll give you some Disney Plus money. Don't worry. Tim's Real Lavros says, Caleb, yes, the second Death Star film of Rogue 2. I want that. I want that Manny Bothan stories. Yes, we need the Manny Bothan story. We do. I want to know what happened to the Manny Bothans. I do. I've always wanted to. I initially got it confused with Rogue when I found out Rogue One was coming out. I was like, this is about the Manny Bothans? And then I realized that was the second Death Star. But yeah, Rogue 2. I'm here for it. They should do that. I want to know how I've always been curious. Maybe it was just from the bits and pieces of the Death Star that blew up everywhere. How did they build the Death Star, the second Death Star, so fast? I feel like that's in canon somewhere and I should know it, but it took like 20 years for the first one, and the second one was like 3 or 5. Like, I don't know, man. It makes my head hurt. Barb's Basement says, I would rather do some legend stories and visions so we can get that without the expectations that come from the ongoing series. Yeah, dude. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Don Clotterman says, yep, and Din Ezra brother thing if we don't get it in reality. Oh, the Din Ezra theory is amazing. I love the Din Ezra theory. I will die on that hill. It's definitely not a thing, but it should be. For those of you that don't know what Don and I are talking about here with the Din Ezra theory. So Din Djarin, his parents look strikingly similar to the parents of Ezra Bridger in Star Wars Rebels. I mean, maybe what if real quick, what if episode 7 with Dave Filoni co-writing brings Ezra Bridger into it, and you find out that Ezra Bridger's the brother of Din Djarin, or you just find out that Din Djarin and Ezra Bridger are brothers. Maybe you don't actually see Ezra Bridger, but what if you find out Ezra is Din's brother? So the Ezra Bridger Din Bridger theory is that the two were brothers that were separated during the Clone Wars, before Ezra was like born. You know, his parents were either a couple years out from it, or about to. Maybe he's even older. Maybe Din's a bit older than his brother is, but being already a small boy by the time he's taken in by the Mandalorian. So what if the parents lost their first kid? They were trying to protect him. He became a Mandalorian. They had to run away from the Separatists. They got away somehow, you know what I mean? And then they end up, after losing their kids to Separatists and the Empire takes over, they become, rebel leaders, or, the first voices of the rebellion in a way. And of course, Ezra gets inspired by them. So yeah, I don't know. It's a loose theory. I'm loving these brother theories. They're great. Star Wars obsession. Stop it. Tim says you're right. They were just. Ha! There's another one. Was Alderaan the first planet that got blown up? I'm wondering if we see the Death Star getting used in Andor Season 2. Alderaan was the first planet that got fully blown up. Fully blown up. Yes. The first test of the Death Star is in Rogue One. So we're probably not going to see the Death Star operational at all during Andor Season 2, but the final touches and maybe even the Grolix situation that happens in the final Thrawn novel, Thrawn Treason. Maybe the Grolix problem will show up in Andor. That would be a cool little nod. I would love that. Where was I? Rail Avros says 200 billion systems in the galaxy. There must be some other stories and more Palpatines. They're out there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look, we got Rey. She's a Palpatine. People are gonna be like, no, enough of the Palpatines. Tim says, was Alderaan... Oh, he read that one. Yee. Darth Chaos, Vision Season 2. Yes, please. Vision Season 2 is coming around the corner. It's around the corner. I hope we see Lothwolves in Ahsoka, says Queso. Dude, that would be dope. I'm here for it. Rail Avros says, I want to see a 1 hour live action Rebel Jump Trooper story. Hey man, I'm here for any kind of thing. Do it. Dave just one day is like, I want to tell a jumper story. You do it, man. Heck yeah. I mean, maybe they could do that in I know they had the one, what's it called, the Commanders or Republic Commando. I don't even remember what it's called now. it got canceled. It was the one with Gina, but not Rogue, I don't know what it's called anymore. It's not happening, but they're gonna adapt it, I think. I'm so sad I can't remember the name of that. They're gonna adapt it, and maybe we could see a Rebel jumper in that. That'd be kind of cool. Help me out here, chat. My brain hurts. They fly now. They do. Tim says, I always love when Din got saved by the Mandos. How we saw the Clone Wars droids. Yeah, dude, I've always loved that too. I love the little flashbacks, seeing Din Djarin not really fully aware as a child of what's going on, other than, you know, his parents are trying to protect him. But I'm just saying, maybe they survived. Maybe they're out there somewhere. I love the theory of B2 coming K2SO, says Rail. Dude, I would love that. I would love if that theory is true. A lot of people are saying B2 Emo could potentially become K2SO, and that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Caleb Richardson says they didn't label the old EU as Legends for nothing, and they made a logo for it as well. You know, they could make a Star Wars Legends blah 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 TV show or movie that's completely non-canon. You're speaking my language. You're speaking my language, Caleb. It's fine. We're not gonna freak out if you change canon stuff. Just label it Legends. You made it for a reason. Just do it. Do it. Do it, Disney. Lucasfilm, please. I beg of you. You're re-releasing dang gone Legends books that we already have. Give us some Legends content that's new and fun. Why not? Why not? Darth Chaos says Rangers of the New Republic. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Rangers of the New Republic isn't going to be happening anymore, but that would be the perfect place for a Rebel Jumper to show up. You know what I mean? This is not fluff. It's all based on poopies from the actor that played Din's father. In the flashbacks, he also emphasized their red robes, thinking the disciples of Wills. Wow. Well, I guess it's a little deeper than I thought. Din Bridger is here to stay. I'm here for Din Bridger. Make that the big reveal of season 3, that Din Djarin is really Din Bridger. That'd be awesome. Djarin could just be like his adoptive Mandalorian name. You know what I mean? I was a little disappointed with Lucasfilm Studio Ghibli project. I was expecting much more. It was just a short, but I feel like, in a way, if you're gonna do something with Studio Ghibli, and maybe it was a test. That's what Tim and I were theorizing, is maybe it's a test with Studio Ghibli. They should do something else that's a little bit longer and super cool. Maybe they're gonna be part of season 2 of Visions. I didn't think they were, from what I had heard. Maybe. But yeah, they should do something else with Studio Ghibli, and maybe something bigger, and maybe that's just a test. We'll see. B2 gets all cocky when he gets a new body, becomes sarcastic and a little short-tempered. It's definitely a little bit of a drastic change, because he's all nervous and he's like a wreck, but then if you put him in a big droid, he's just like, whoa, alright. Cassian, you're... I'm dead. Rangers would be perfect. So the thing with Rangers of the New Republic, and this might be one of the last things that I put in here. So if you guys got any questions or anything, put them now or forever hold your peace. But Rangers of the New Republic, it's not going to be happening anymore. But Kathleen Kennedy already talked about how they're going to adapt it into other things, most likely. So seeing how the Book of Boba Fett ends with a character that was supposed to apparently be a big part of Rangers of the New Republic, that being, what's his name on Tatooine? Cobb Vanth. Cobb Vanth getting the whole robotic upgrade that we've seen a couple other characters get throughout Star Wars. And becoming, more machine than man, potentially. Being in the Bacta. Maybe we do get some Rangers of the New Republic type stuff in Mandalorian Season 3 or Book of Boba Fett Season 2. Something in the Mandoverse, right? And maybe we see the Rebel Jumper that you're hoping for. Maybe we do. MCOG says that scene of the Mandalorian saving Din made me want more from what the era in live action, even though I'm an animation shill. Dude, me too. I'm down for all the stuff during post episode 6. You know what I mean? There's so much cool story to follow, whether it's Luke Skywalker now with Mandalorian stuff, Ahsoka. There's so much cool things happening post episode 6 that is just awesome. It's awesome. What just happened? Hell no. Rail Alvarez says, I know this is off topic, but can anyone explain the Sith rule of 2 in a way that makes sense? Was there only 2 Sith in the entire galaxy at any given time? Okay, so I'm not a Legends expert by any means of the explanation. I'm not a Legends expert, but as far as I know, basically there used to be a whole bunch of Sith, just like there was a whole bunch of Jedi. Like, we're talking hundreds and hundreds, if not maybe even close to thousands, you know what I mean? Like, there was a whole bunch of Sith at one point in time, and I think along the way during the Old Republic, or, you know, Knights of the Old Republic, or different things like that, not 100% sure. Again, I never played through all those games, but there's used to be a whole bunch of Sith, whole bunch of Jedi, but the Sith used to have like wars with each other. Like, all the Sith want is power, and, you know, they're hungry for more power, and so basically the Sith would go to war with each other, and wouldn't be fighting the Jedi, you know what I mean? There's just a whole bunch of factions of Sith just like trying to get the power from one another. So this dude comes along named Darth Bane, who's like one of the strongest Sith. He just starts taking out Sith left and right during these Sith wars and different wars that are going on. And so Darth Bane establishes the rule of 2. And with him, he basically has an apprentice, and he says, basically, the less number of Sith there are, the more power there is for the 2, like the main 2. And so that's why there's still like acolytes and, you know, different Sith apprentices, like secret apprentices or different things, because the Sith are always trying to gain more power and bringing new people in and doing, you know, a lot of times the apprentices overcome the masters with the help of their own apprentice, kind of a thing. So the rule of 2 just established that after Darth Bane basically destroyed and dwindled down the number of Sith, that the less of us there are, the stronger we will be. And if we work in the shadows and different things, that's how we can make our kind of long play to destroy the Jedi. Tim says, I don't think in canon we even know about the Sith back when they only had that one thing in the Clone Wars with Yoda, I think. Yeah, there's not that much in canon that we know about of the Sith quite yet, to be honest, other than going off of legend stuff. So that's kind of the best idea of what I have there. Rest in peace, Christy Alley, just announced has passed after a battle of cancer. Rest in peace, Christy. Don Clotterman says, it's a test. I wish Ghibli had made a 10-minute short of suit sprites helping Grogu decorate the Life Day tree. Yes! They should release that on Christmas. The rule of 2 got introduced at some point in Legends. It's always like that. Yeah, it definitely has always been like that. But based on what we know, yeah, at some point within the Sith history and canon, it's most likely that the rule of 2 was established by Darth Bane, who we see a ghost of in Clone Wars in terms of canon stuff. And he talks about how he established the rule of 2, or Yoda talks about how he established it. But yeah, the rule of 2 was established to basically keep the hierarchy of Sith and keep the power within the 2 main ones. Ray Lamroth says, thank you. I have to admit there are many books I've not read, so I don't remember them fully. Dude, there is so many Legends books and canon books now. It's hard to know all the Star Wars canon. You know what I mean? There's so much. Talented Mr. Griffin says Legends is eye-opening. If you have the time to check out that Darth Bane trilogy, really good. Read or listen. I should. I think all of us should. Tim says, I mean, since they made Legends, they basically took away a lot of the backstories, but it looks like they're still adapting from it. They definitely seem like they are, and for some of the more popular stories, they definitely have been adapting for it. Bringing in Darth Bane in the Clone Wars, one kind of little nod. Heck, even some of the Sith kind of temples and different things in Rise of Skywalker, Episode 9. There's a lot of different Legends Sith characters kind of portrayed there, or, you know, with the giant statues. So definitely Bane, I think from what we know of his stories, we can kind of presume it's somewhat similar in canon. Hopefully one day we get that kind of a story in canon. It would be so cool to see how the rule of 2 was first established, you know what I mean? Maybe we'll even get some insight in the Acolyte, which is going to be taking place more towards the end of the High Republic era, or closer to Dooku and the Tales of the Jedi, or 100 years really before the Phantom Menace. So it'll be cool to see some stuff like that in the Acolyte and get our first look into the lives of Sith characters in a way. You know what I mean? Stanley says, check out Wikipedia for all your Star Wars lore. There you go. Wikipedia is definitely a great place for Star Wars lore, indeed. Tim says it's like comic books now. If they give you something to speculate about, and they might adapt stuff, but it might not exactly be like the original. Definitely 100% there. He says, I think John even talked about how they can pull from Legends at some point. He did. He's definitely talked about that before. Dave and him both do that a lot. In fact, you see it in The Mandalorian. You see it in a lot of the Star Wars stuff that happens in these days, whether it's even just small little creatures that they add in. A lot of that stuff is all adapted from Legends, and they take a lot of different stories or aspects of stories that they liked in Legends and throw it into their characters that we see now in the Mandoverse. It's so cool. Maria, hello there. Hope you're doing well. Tim says, it's hard not to get inspired by some of the Legends stuff. It is, dude. Some of it is really, really cool. I mean, there's so much Legends that there's some that's like, you don't really need that. But then there's some where it's like, that's pretty freaking cool. And heck, Thrawn, straight up a Legends character brought into canon, doesn't get more inspired than that. You know what I mean? They even brought in the dude that made him and was like, can you do more? Maria says that's the key. Incorporate more Legends into new Star Wars. I think it is. I think it is one of the keys. I mean, there's so many different things, and I feel like if you do new Star Wars, you definitely can do it right if you have the right people. But if you're going to do characters that are already established, or you're going to try to put new themes into Star Wars, I think having different kind of aspects like they've done, adapting different aspects like they've done with The Mandalorian, whether it's, the Crate Dragon kind of thing, that Kyle Katarn, I think, goes through a similar thing in the old Legends games. So they do a whole bunch of adaptation, and if they keep doing stuff like that, or, bring in new Star Wars stories, I think it's great. I think it's definitely one of the keys to going forward. You know what I mean, Maria? I definitely agree. Caleb Richardson says, wow, Clarence Gilroy Jr. passed away a few days ago, man. That's sad. I used to watch Walker, Texas Ranger with my grandma. I hope my grandma greeted him with a batch of her famous cookies. She probably did, my man. She probably did. I wish I could try those famous cookies. Damn. Talented Mr. Griffin says, Legacy of the Force is 9 books, but well worth it. I gotta read through it. Maria says, I need to get with you. I need to get with you, Sheev, because I want you to show you my fan film project. I'm going to reach out to you about it. Do it. I love fan films. I definitely incorporate a lot of Legends into it and carry on the saga. Hell yeah. I've really wanted to do some type of, kind of fan film stuff, or maybe even just like an animated fan film project at some point. I'm sure it'll cost the arm and a leg. But dude, that's awesome. I definitely am interested, Maria. Alright, y'all, we've been going a little bit over the time that I thought we would, so if you guys got any last questions, put them into the chat, and we're going to get on out of here in the next 2 or 3 minutes. Talented Mr. Griffin says, now that he's established to be alive, will we ever see Quinlan in live action? How cool would it be to see Quinlan Vos in the new Star Wars Jedi Survivor? You know what I mean? That can make a lot of sense. I'm wondering how much the path could be established in Jedi Survivor as well, as we see that. The Obi-Wan Kenobi show took a lot of stuff from Jedi Fallen Order, whether it's Fortress Inquisitorius, having kind of different aspects of that timeline kind of fit in as it is a little bit after. Knowing Jedi Survivor is supposed to be taking place around the same time as Kenobi, how cool would it be to see either Reva or Quinlan Vos, all these different characters that could potentially show up? That would be so cool, man. I don't know when the next time we could see it, but I'm here for it. Sheev is Pokemon deprived. I'm itching for it. Yeah, I've been playing through the new Pokemon games. I'm playing Pokemon Violet lately, and it's so good. It's so good. I definitely got to get going on my other channel. If you guys want to follow Sheev the Wise on YouTube, that is our second channel. I've been doing some gaming stuff. It's kind of a pop culture gaming channel. So right now we're playing through God of War Ragnarok. I gotta get back on that soon. Maybe we'll do a late night God of War stream, if not tonight, some point this week. I got some time tomorrow and Wednesday, so maybe we'll do it tomorrow and Wednesday. But yeah, I'm definitely Pokemon deprived. Did you finish God of War? Not yet. Not yet. It's a long game, dude. It's a long game. I know a lot of people have, though. Hey, Tim, the GOAT. There's our second channel. Tim just put it into the chat. I'm going to pin it. If you guys are interested, go check it out. And I'll finish this poll right now. What will Thrawn be in first? 21 votes. And 71% of you guys say that Thrawn will show up and Ahsoka first. I definitely agree. Yes, give me Quinlan in the Jedi series, but not sure if he'll be in Jedi Survivor. But there will be more after Survivor. Hell yeah. If there's going to be more after Survivor, I'm here for it. I feel like they should bring Cal Kestis into live action at some point, but I know they want to tell a story in the games a lot, so I'm here for that as well. I'm here for it. Post-credit finale. Dude, post-credit finale of Thrawn needs to happen. Just do it. Do it. Alright, y'all. We're going to get on out of here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us in the chat. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Mike the Stand Show Porter, subscribe to both channels. You're the GOAT, my friend. Much love, Mike. Everybody in the chat, though, I got so much love for all you guys. If you want to continue the conversation or talk more Star Wars with fans just like yourself, go check out our Star Wars Discord down in the link below. I'm sure Tim, the GOAT, is probably going to put it in there. Heck, I could even put it in here real quick. Save Tim some time if I can do it before him. Oh no, he did it before me. No. Go check out our Discord server that Tim just threw into the chat if you guys want to keep the conversation going, though. Much love, everybody. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. I'm going to keep you guys posted on when the next stream is coming. But thank you all for hanging with us. I'll see you guys soon. And may the Force be with you guys always. Peace out, everybody. Much love. Much love, everybody. Hope you guys have a good night and happy holidays.